Hey, good morning. How's it going? Today we are in Icon BR number 34. This truck's pretty cool. So let's take it out for a drive and I will tell you how and why. Where do I start? This is the first 1977 version that we've done at Icon with the early Broncos. Usually we stick to 75 and older so that they're emissions exempt in all states, because Ford has yet to develop an emissions certified version of our beloved Coyote V8. But in this case, the client wanted a 77 and he was in a state where that's not a problem. So we did it, and it's kind of fun. Our formula pretty much remains the same. The most notable visible differences on this versus the earlier versions is the enclosed fuel doors and the unique orientation of the side marker lights. Minor details for sure, but there you go. Originally, like all the early Broncos, or most of them, it would have had the dual tanks and there would have been two fuel doors. But our tank is larger than the original dual tanks combined, so we smoothed out the second fuel fill door on the quarter panel. This truck's feeling really good mechanically. It's running the Coyote 5-liter fuel-injected aluminum V8 from Ford as found in the current generation Mustang GTs. Really like this motor. Ford just made a couple rolling changes to it, and actually feel like it has a little bit more power. And there was a flat spot that we used to have to tune our way around that's now gone. So that's a bonus. Only catch is there's still a couple things that Ford hadn't figured out before they started retailing it, like the AC circuit, so we're having to kind of MacGyver our way around that. We also found that our trick that we did on the previous generation Coyotes, wherein we used an OEM air filter, plenum, and airbox from a different application. This time with the changes in the electronics, the motor did not like that. So you'll see under hood on this one our prototype new airbox, which is kind of cool. It was a fun challenge. So we stayed with our own rotomolded plenum that was still compliant, but these motors are super finicky about where the mass airflow sensor is, what the air volume is, what the angles are, what the distances are between the related components in the system. So we fabbed this one up in aluminum, and I'm really happy with it. So we're going to put it into production and make that a rolling change. We're also running the automatic transmission on this one. Of course, mated to the Atlas 2 twin stick, part-time 4-wheel drive shift on the fly transfer case. Axles are our Dynatrac Dana-based assemblies. So in the front, you've got a Dana 44 Pro Rock high pinion with fine spline axles and other upgraded internals. And in the rear, we're running a Dana 60 Pro Rock high pinion. And both front and rear diffs on this truck are equipped with the ARB locking differentials. And we're also running the new Brembo Icon Sport brakes with the Hydro Booster kick-ass brakes. The transition to the Hydro Boost Master means more braking pressure with your foot input. So just phenomenal control over the braking, and it'll pull this bugger to a halt in a hurry. We're also running the Sport suspension option, which is a kind of rare one for us, and this is the new version of the Sport suspension, which means it's running the nitrogen charged Fox Racing shocks, 2.5-inch bodies with remote canisters, and it's dual rate adjustable. Quite nice. Let's see, I guess that's it for primary mechanical. Obviously running our standard sway bar and radius arm architecture, triangulated 4-link in the rear. We have the Warren winch with the synthetic cable. Auxiliary lighting front and rear, and this white's quite nice. We're doing a run of white ones lately, Each one is different, and I'd say maybe this one's my favorite. Probably because it's set off by these retro wheels that we've started offering. So, new rim option. It's called the Retro. Duh, it's retro. So we took the aesthetic of the original two-piece steel wheel and then translated that into the 18-inch size, which allows us room for the big old Brembo brakes. And those are CNC'd and then powder coated in the Icon Volcanic Black. And then we take the vintage Ford hubcaps from another application, but they're my favorite vintage cap that would work. And we apply them. So it's kind of neat. It's a good way to keep the old school look. Also, on this particular truck, with it being white, the black and white contrasts are really cool. So we decided to continue playing with that. And we altered our normal front grille now to the same black volcanic finish. And then we've also been working with an old friend of mine from the Land Cruiser world. Started a company called LabRack. So LabRack has been thinking there's got to be a better way when it comes to roof racks. And I think he's done a great job. So the rack on this truck is the prototype for the collaboration with Icon. And let's see what I need to tell you. Basically, it's extruded aluminum with TIG welded stainless joints and corners and braces. So very intelligently designed, keeps the weight down and the rigidity up. And it's also a flat rack, so you don't have the height demands that, at least for us city folks, when you do a conventional roof rack with a side gutter and everything, just gets you too tall. So this keeps the height to a more manageable height. And then also the other cool thing about it, there's extensive options that fit into the extrusion tracks in the rack. So really good high lift jack mount, mounts for rooftop tents, igloos, etc. He's even developing a storage system wherein you can take a table and put it underneath the rack. So I think we're going to see great things coming from LabRack, and we're definitely going to be working with them in the future as well. We're running the traditional glass, and obviously the stainless rear view mirrors, door handles, the custom light guards, all LED lighting, turn signals, tail lights, headlights, the whole kit and caboodle. In fact, even on the interior, all of the interior lighting is diode based as well. More on the inside, we're running the standard Icon seats with the Chilowich textile option, which brings with it the Chilowich floor mat system that are all interlocking geometric panels, and those are insulated with Dynamat and then rubber backed over a heat cured polyurea floor, again with more Dynamat, and then with aluminum and further insulatory heat barriers on the transmission tunnel area. Door panel stayed pretty much stock Icon situation on this truck. Headliner Alcantara stock as well. Center console, that's the new and improved Icon center console. So you've got the gas shock lid, you've got LED lighting on the inside, you have power ports, USB and SIGI style on the back plane, and then cup holders front and rear. We just modified our cup holder system by adding a little grommet and hole pattern to index a pen, because it kind of seemed like the right thing to do. Then once we figured if we're going to give you a place to hold a pen, we darn right should give you a nice pen. So we threw in the Icon pen. These pens are pretty cool. Really good quality, CNC'd aluminum. You can buy them on the Icon site if you care to. Obviously, full function in-dash heat vent AC. That's by our friends at Vintage Air. Super good stuff, really nice high output. The vents are CNC'd aluminum, and as used in projects like Cessna aircraft, usually not automotive. They love plastic. I hate plastic. So there you go. Those are double hard coat anodized. Same with the dash map lights. Those are as found in like MiG jets and stuff like that. And then our beloved Rosen sun visors, which are also used in high quality aircraft like Learjet. Steering wheel comes from a company that mostly supplies commercial buses, earth movers, stuff like that. First time I saw this wheel was in one of those big monster caterpillars they have at mining operations, and kind of got me thinking, well, that thing never gets any love. It sees a wild range of environmental inputs, and it lasts forever and looks good. So sign me up. So we tracked them down, and they make them for us now, splined to our column, which is kick-ass. Otherwise, on the dash, you'll see the normal layout of lights, wipers, fan, vent, and temperature. Those are CNC'd aluminum knobs that are then enamel filled by hand. On the left side of the dash, you'll notice a switch that you don't always see on the icons, but that's the electronic overdrive on-off switch when we do the automatic transmissions. For the audio system on this truck, we're running the Pioneer 8100 NEX head unit, which is a lovely system. So touch screen, Apple CarPlay enabled, really good navigation. Takes a CD old school if you still want to go that way. And then this one's been further optioned with the reverse camera integrated into the rear bumper. Of course, you're running focal or focal speakers. Everyone wants to argue about what they're called. Whatever, nice speakers, they start with an F. And then the JL audio for the bass and Alpine for amplifiers. In the rear, we're running the 2-passenger tuck and tumble removable rear seat option. 3-point belts for both passengers with that, of course. And what else? I guess it's probably a good enough show, right? Listen, if you guys are finding these videos redundant and you'd like to see me elaborate on a specific system, design, functionality, let me know. I'm happy to do it, except beating the piss out of them off-road. I can't do that. Only time we can do that is when it's an event or a car I own, which rarely happens because I cannot afford my own work. What are you gonna do? As always, thank you for taking the time to watch my videos. We really do appreciate it. Thanks for making what we do possible. It's an honor, really. We've now about 50 employees, and I'm keeping a lot of American suppliers and machinists busy, and we're really proud of that. Any further questions, reach out to us. Our website is icon4x4.com. Our Instagram is icon4x4, and Facebook, Jonathan Ward's probably your best bet, and that's pretty much it. Thanks again, appreciate it. Have a good day.